Welcome back to part 9 of the van build series. We are pretty close to the end of the van build. If there's any questions or any comments or any feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Today we are going to be focusing on cupboards on the wall, which are custom made, and also some small mirrors which I put on the front sun visors, which you'll see in a second. I bought these mirrors, or this mirror, from IKEA. And I essentially cut it in half with my skill saw, with my Makita saw, and then we tried to file the edges down. It wasn't perfect, but considering the cost, it was a real cheap mirror. You just stick it onto the front visor. It does the job perfectly. The only small issue with it is that it's a little bit zoomed in. I think this mirror was meant for a bathroom. It's a little bit zoomed in, so sometimes when you're sat in the passenger or the driver's seat and you want to have a look at yourself, you get a bit of a fright when you pull the visor down. But it does the job. It's a great mirror, and considering it didn't have any, I'm not sure why. It's an older van. It's a 2005. Maybe they just didn't come with mirrors. It was a great addition because there's nothing worse. Sometimes when you're camping, you don't see yourself in a mirror for weeks. So it's nice sometimes to be able to look at yourself, or maybe it isn't actually. Maybe we should get rid of the mirrors. Maybe it's best to not be able to see yourself sometimes when you're camping. Anyway, we move on. The next part of this video is going to be the installation of the cupboards on the wall. You can see me doing this here. As we're getting towards the end of the van build, you might find that some pieces of the timber, some pieces of the wood that I'm using are a little bit, look a little bit out of shape. And it's just because we were getting to a point where I was trying to save costs, and a lot of the timber here is being reused and repurposed, just to try and, as I say, cut down on costs and just make things work. So the other small issue I found with this was that the cupboards I made, although they've turned out very well, I'm not much of a planner. So I just have a bit of an idea in my head and I go, you know what, I want to put cupboards beside the bed. I want them to, in my head I can picture, I want them to look like this. I want them to have this many slots to put like clothes here or whatnot. But I don't necessarily draw things out with diagrams. So as I'm actually putting things together, I kind of wing it. And a lot of the time it works out. But if there was more planning involved, I'm sure this could have looked a little bit nicer. The other issue was that some of it wasn't perfectly level. But you'll find that if you do a van conversion yourself, a lot of the time the things you make won't be perfectly level or perfectly straight, and that is because you can't use a level in a van, because the ground that the van is most likely on isn't level. So if you put a level on like a cupboard and you're like, this looks straight or this doesn't look straight, it's very rarely accurate. So you kind of just need to eye most of the things you do, unless you have some sort of specialized equipment where you can make your van perfectly level when you're building. But yeah, a lot of this I had to eye it, so there is small parts of it that look a little bit wonky, but overall it's pretty good. This was the progress with the cupboard so far. So we have like 6 different holes where we're going to put clothes, we're going to put toiletries. That bottom right piece there that we're looking at is the bottom right corner hole, is actually an extended room, because what I want to do there is install a clothes hanger, because I think it's quite a luxury to be able to hang up some of your clothes and them not always be creased. We don't go out to eat at nice places too often, but when we do, it's nice to be able to wear clothes that haven't been creased and crumbled up in the van for weeks or months at a time. As you can see here, I've installed a sideboard just to kind of give it a nicer look. I tried my best with this. I'm not going to lie to you all and say I'm an absolute expert, but with a lot of this, I'm a carpenter, but I haven't been in the game too long, so I tried my best to make it all work, to make it all look nice. A lot of the holes that we had to put in with nails and screws, you can see in the previous part there, we patched those up with a bit of builder's bog, just like a bit of a paste. You put that over your screw holes, your nail holes, and then you sand it down. And then when you paint your piece of wood, it comes up quite nice. So I was more focused on the building of the cupboards and kind of just putting it together, and Jen's job was to try and make my work look good, which, as you can see, is an absolutely monstrous task, but she did a pretty good job. The paint we picked was actually it worked out really nice, and it complemented the white in the background. But the thing I was most proud about with these cupboards was the fact that we were able to get it alongside the bed, and it means that we have a lot more space in front of the bed to be able to sit up, put our kitchen in there, have our fridge, wake up in the morning and make a coffee without stumbling over different cupboards. So I felt really happy that we'd kind of been able to custom fit cupboards just beside the bed there. In the next video you're going to see, we will be looking at the kitchen installation. Again, that was completely custom made by myself, so if you're interested in seeing that, please subscribe and put your notifications on, and you'll be notified when that video is posted. I will try and get it out to you soon. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. Thank you very much for watching, and see ya.